Hello guys, this tutorial video is for Adobe Animate CC, Lesson 3, Creating and Editing Symbols. So first, we need to open Adobe Animate CC and choose File, New. In the New Document dialog box, we need to choose ActionScript 3.0. On the right side of the dialog box, we need to change the stage to 100 pixels as width and 450 pixels as height, and click OK. Then we need to choose File, Save, and name the file as 03 underscore working. Copy. And leave the format as Adobe Animate document, which is the Flash document, and click Save. So first is importing Illustrator files. We go to File, Import, and choose Import to Stage. Navigate to the Lesson 3 folder. And choose Zero Start folder. And select characters.ai and click Open. And then you can say the Import to Stage dialog box appears. Wait it to import. Okay, now you can say the dialog box. For layer conversion, choose Maintain Editable Paths and Effects. For text conversion, choose Editable Text. And for Convert Layers to, and then choose Flash Animate Layers. And then click OK. Next one is creating symbols. On the stage, we need to select just the cartoon character in the hero layer, this one, and then choose Modify, Convert to Symbol. Name the symbol as Hero, and select Movie Clip for the type. So this is Movie Clip, and leave this as the top left corner, and then click OK. So we go to Library Inspector, and you can say the hero symbol is added here. And then we select the other cartoon character, which is this one, and convert it to movie clip symbol as well. So we go to Modify, Convert to Symbol, and name it as Robot. Also movie clip, and click OK. It is also added to library. Next one is importing Photoshop files. So we need to select the top layer in your timeline, which is the hero layer. And then from the top menu, choose File, Import. And then choose Import to Stage. Navigate to Lesson 0 Start folder, and then select background.psd. If you cannot select it, choose Enable as All Files. And click background.psd and click Open. Then in the dialog box, we need to choose Maintain Editable Paths and Effects for layer conversions, and also choose Enable Text for text conversion. And for Convert Layers to, choose Flash Flyers. It should be Animate Layers. And then click OK. So now you can say, these images are also added to the library. You can say this is background PSD, a set, and these are the different symbols in this document. Okay, then we need to drag the robot and the hero layers to the top of the timeline so they overlap the background layers. So the hero layer will drag it upward, and also the robot like this. The next is adding folders and organizing the library. In the library panel, right-click or control-click in an empty space and select New Folder. And name the folder as Characters. Drag the hero and robot movie clip symbols into the Characters folder. Drag them into it, and then you make it clips, and you can say the two symbols are added to the new folder. The next is editing a symbol from the library. We can double-click the robot movie clip symbol icon in the library. Robot double-click. And then double-click the drawing to edit it. Double-click the drawing groups as many times as necessary to drill down to the individual shapes you want to edit. Like I want to edit this part, change its color, and so I need to go to Paint Bucket tool and go to Properties, choose a fill color like a light orange. Click on Scene 1 on the Edit bar above the stage to return to the main timeline. And you can say it reflects the changes you just make to the symbols. The next is editing a symbol in place. We're using the Selection tool. Double-click the robot movie clip instance on the stage. And you can say Animate dims all other objects on the stage and takes you to symbol editing mode. Double-click the drawing to edit it, and double-click the drawing groups as many as times necessary to drill down to the individual shapes that you want to edit. Like still, I'm going to use this part. And choose the Paint Bucket tool. Select New Fill Color and apply it to the shape. Like I'll choose the green one. Click on Scene 1 on the Edit bar above the stage to return to the main timeline. Okay, next is breaking apart a symbol instance. Select the robot instance on the stage. So it should be use the Selection tool and select this robot image. And choose Modify. Break apart. Animate breaks apart the robot movie clip instance. What's left on the stage is a group, which you can break apart further to edit. So we go to Modify, break apart again, and then choose Modify, break apart again. And Animate breaks apart the drawing objects into shapes, and then choose Edit, undo several times to back. Okay. The next one is changing the size and the position of instances. We need to select the robot layer in the timeline, so we use the Selection tool, choose Robot layer, and drag another robot symbol from the library onto the stage. So we go to Library and choose the robot and drag it to the stage like this. And then choose the Free Transform tool. This is Free Transform tool. First we choose it and then choose the Free Transform tool. And you can see the control handles appear around the selected instance. Then we drag the control handles on the sides of the selection to flip the robot so it is facing the other direction. Or you can right-click to choose transform and flip horizontal like this. Drag the control handles on the corner of the selection while holding down the Shift key to reduce the size of the robot. And then we can drag a third. Okay, first we need to move it below the hero. Okay, like this. Now I need to move it. Okay, drag a third one onto the stage. With the free transform tool, flip the robot, resize it, and make it overlap the second robot. Move the characters into an attractive arrangements. Okay, so this is free transform. We right click, transform, flip horizontal, and shrink the symbol. Use the selection tool to drag the characters like this. Okay, the next is using rollers and guides. Choose View, Rollers. Click the top horizontal roller and drag a guide onto the stage, like this. A colored line appears on the stage that you can use as a guideline for the alignment, and double-click the guide with the selection tool, and you can position it like while typing 435 and click OK. And then we choose View, Snapping, and choose Snap to Guides to check this, and make sure Snap to Guides is selected. That means objects will now snap to any guides on the stage. Drag the robot instance and the hero instance so that the bottom edges align with the guide. Okay, like this. The next is changing the color effect of instances. First is changing the brightness. We use the selection tool, click the smallest robot on the stage. Okay, I'll use this one. In the Properties Inspector, we go to Properties, choose Brightness from the Color Effect Style menu. It should be in the Color Effect. Okay, Style, we choose Brightness. And then drag the bright slider to about -40%. Okay, -40%. Or just type in and press return. Next is changing the transparency. Select the glowing orb in the flare layer. Okay, this one. And then in the Properties Inspector, choose Alpha from the Color Effect Style menu. Alpha. And then change the alpha to about 50%. You can drag and you can see the difference. So it should be 50%. The next is Visible option for movie clips. Select the selection tool. Select one of the robot movie clip instances on the stage like this one. In the Properties Inspector, under the Display section, so it's here, it's Display section, notice that the Visible option is selected. This is visible by default, meaning that the instance is visible. We can deselect the visible track above like this to make it invisible. Also, you can adjust the blending effect, but I can choose the different ones, or you can back to normal. Okay, the next step is export as bitmap. Select the selection tool. Select the hero movie clip instance on the stage. In the Properties Inspector, choose Export as bitmap for the render option. So, export as bitmap, and then back. Next is applying a blur filter. Select the glowing orb in the flare layer. And in the Properties Inspector, expand the filter action. And then we click this Add Filter button and choose Blur. And you can click this to make it link or unlink. Like I'll change the blur value to 10. Okay, the next is changing the 3D rotation of an object. Insert a new layer at the top of the layers stack and rename it as text. So we click new layer and name it as text. And choose the text tool from the Tools panel. Okay, specify the different things in the properties, like the color, I will choose white. Family, choose one of the font family. And style. And then I go to the picture and type in the things I need, like in the textbook, it's called macwords. Highlight it to change like the size to make it smaller. Okay. And then select the text and choose Modify. Choose Convert to Symbol. Name it as Title. And also the type as Movie Clip. And click OK. Then we need to choose the 3D rotation tool, which is this one, 3D rotation tool. And click one of the guys, like you can have the red one, green one, and blue one, to drag them and make the 3D fill. Or you can change the 3D position of an object, like we'll change the tool to 3D transition tool and drag this different options to change the 3D transition. Okay, the next is understanding the vanishing point and the perspective angle. Select an object on the stage that has been moved or rotated in 3D space, which is only the text, so we use the selection tool to select it. And in the Properties Inspector, expand the 3D position. Okay, this is 3D position and view. And click and drag on the X and Y values, like we can drag it, change the position of it. To reset the vanishing point to the default values, like to the center of the stage, we need to click the Reset button, which is here. Click and drag on the perspective angle value to change the amount of distortion. The greater the angle, the more the distortion. So this is perspective angle, like this. And when you finish editing, go to File to save your project.